Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video it's going to be my special 1000 subs Q&A because I haven't done a Q&A since November 2015 and I'm guessing that you guys want to ask me stuff. So yeah, I've now hit 1000 subs, as you know, because I've uploaded this video now. Probably everybody's going to unsub just to get me down to below a subscriber milestone, because that always happens. So because yes, last night I hit 1000 subs and then somebody unsubbed today and I've now got 999. So yeah, just before I get into the question, I'd just like to thank you for all the support that you've given me over this past 3 years and a month, which is how long I've been doing my channel to get to this milestone. And yeah, just for comparison, it took me 8 months to get my first 100 subscribers. The last 100 subscribers I got in 1 month. So yeah, it's in fact I think even less than that. I think like 3 weeks or something like that. Yeah, it's been kind of ridiculous, the growth that I've got recently. Sometimes I get like 10 subscribers a day. It's kind of crazy. At most I probably get about not most, like on average I probably get like 4 or 5 per day. But yeah, just thank you so much for the support that I've been getting over this past 3 years and a month, because it's been immense, and I've changed a lot on this channel, not just in my series, from what I'm uploading, the recording setup that I've had, the way I speak, me as a person. I've just changed so much on this channel. I've slid from doing Minecraft videos with a crap setup, recording on a bunch of like million things stood up with my tablet at like 480p, to with a capture card but doing Minecraft a lot less, doing fleet histories where I steal everyone's music and everybody's photos, and yeah, that's basically my channel now. And I think you'll enjoy it. Oh yeah, and Ed's Titanfall, which I probably uploaded by the time this video goes out, I don't know. Thanks for all the support that I've been given, because it's been quite immense. And yeah, thank you all for the questions that you sent me in, because I've got quite a few, albeit some are not quite as normal, shall I say, but yeah, like all the non-normal ones, as I class them. You'll tell if they're my friends or not. So yeah, let's actually start answering your questions. My favourite planes, as in like my top 5, are my first is Concorde, second VC-10, third Fokker 70, although the VC-10 and Fokker 70 like swap around depending on how I feel that month, pretty much. Then the A350 and 747. So yeah, that's my top 5. I don't want the USSR to come back because it's already back. It's the EU. And which airline do I want to come back? I want Air Anglia or Air UK to come back. If you don't know, they were a Norwich-based airline in the 70s and 80s, and they provided and flew routes all over Europe. They flew into like Norway. They even flew to Heathrow and Gatwick from Norwich, which we're actually thinking about reviving. Flybe seem to have an intent for doing that, so yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, Air Anglia, they flew all over northwestern Europe throughout the 70s from Norwich. And yeah, it would be quite interesting if they came back again, because I yeah, would like to experience all the routes from Norwich compared to about like 10. No, I don't, because they're both about totalitarian nightmares, so well, I live in one now. It's Britain. No, I don't love the USA. I love good old Britannia. No, I actually have a Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 Lite, which I know is incredibly ancient, but I barely use my tablet now. I'm thinking about upgrading because I'm pretty sure that the reason why I've got slowdown on it, like you know why it's all laggy, I'm pretty sure that's because of my tablet. It's so old and it has barely any processing power. So I'm thinking about getting a new tablet for recording. Maybe I can then actually get a recorder on that and not have to use just some crappy camera setup, which I have. Because you know that, yeah, I get complaints on that. But yeah, I don't have that. I have the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 Lite. I don't even know when that came out. It was like 2014 or something. And I got it about 3 years ago. So yeah, not exactly the most newest thing in the world, but I barely use it anyways. I don't know, ask him. Top 10 disinfectants is a random thing that happened at school, and it was a joke, and now it's actually going to go onto this channel. Yeah, that'll be uploaded probably a few days after this. It just depends how much I record on it. But I'm going to be reviewing Disinfectants. Because there you go. Is Rick Neps a failed abortion? No, because he uploads my way. They're really good. Not even going to answer the next question. Who is Barry B. Benson? This guy. Why do you scare me? Because you're subbed. Are you a homo sapien? Let's hope. Is your dad real? I hope. Is Annabelle human? Sure. You reckon that my family's alive anyway? And ask NASA. I don't actually know. What my favourite Soviet plane is, to be honest, because, yeah, I don't really think about it. Unless you're counting stuff like the MC-21, which I'm guessing that you're not. I don't know, actually. I never really thought about it. I guess the IL-62. In fact, no, not the IL-62. Like the IL-86 or 96. They are probably the ones that I like the best out of Russia. Because, I don't know, they look kind of weird. They look really fat with tiny wings and like tiny flight surfaces and engines and stuff like that. It's a bit weird. And my favourite Boeing plane is the 747, probably the 100. I don't know, I just like the cocktail bar that they had on the upper deck because they originally didn't know what to put there. So it was like a first-class lounge. I really like that idea. I don't know why airlines don't do it now. Probably because they're more focused on trying to cram as many sardines as they can in their tin cans that they chuck around the world. That was a great analysis of aviation, wasn't it? My favourite Airbus plane is the A350, as I've said before, specifically the 900. I just like the length of it. Like, I don't think it's too long like the 1000 or too short like the 800 was meant to be. I think it's just the perfect length. And I really like the mask that they put on the cockpit, which they've now brought into aviation as a new kind of style, which I really, really like something like Air Canada, that mask. That's just, how can you not like that? Some people don't like that, just why not? And I think the A350 has really nice sharklets as well. The 787, yeah, it has a curved wing, but like it just ends with just like a point. Like the sharklet, it really nice curves off. It's better than everything else. Favorite British plane, not including Concorde because that was half French, is the DC-10. I don't know what Honda Jet actually do. I think that they create like business jets. I don't know, let me look it up.
One eternity later.
According to this Wikipedia page, they do. They create some sort of like tiny little business jet. I probably would say that Airbus would be better than that because, yeah, there's the PC-24, which I think is probably going to be the next sort of like very light regional light aircraft. Customer support for it. I don't know about the Honda Jet. And then the rest of them are just too big. You have like Learjets and like Bombardier Globals and the Embraer, was it Embraer Legacy or whatever they call it, or an Embraer Phenom, which I guess kind of competes with it, but I think the PC-24 is the future, and Airbus is better than Boeing, because I think that Airbus, they do have better aircraft in the long run. Boeing might secure orders at first, but then Airbus have them in the long run, and although Boeing planes look nicer, Airbus ones do better, although the A350 is a quite big exception to that. Favourite plane other than Concorde? VC-10, fuck certainly. Pick one of them. Matty Studios Gaming actually inspired me to make this video, as I said before, but I'll say it again if you don't know. He was essentially a friend that I had on Xbox that I met through another friend on Xbox. Yeah, just met friends through friends through friends. And yeah, I saw that he had a YouTube channel. Well, he said he had a YouTube channel because I met him in like late May. He started up in early May 2015. And I was like, oh, I could do that. So then I searched up how to do it, and then I set up a channel on the 5th of June, and I had a video, and I deleted it, where I did like the insights into Ibirdball into this channel, something like that. Had the word insights into it. Matty Studios Gaming was my inspiration. If you wanted to know, it wasn't some big YouTuber, it was a tiny one, and one that doesn't even exist anymore, because he deleted his channel. And I asked him why, and he was like, I was getting bored, and then he said that he wished he hadn't. So...
Name review!
Ibirdball is better, obviously, because he just is. When did puberty strike on you? I don't actually know. 12, I think. I can't even remember, to be honest. I didn't really keep track. I was just like, oh well, this started now. And then my voice is going to drop to as low as...
Name review!
That's World War II aircraft. It's kind of a tie between the Lancaster and the Meteor. I don't know what I have with the Meteor, probably because it's a jet and I have, I just like jets more than props. So, I don't know, I'm guessing it'll probably be the Meteor, but I don't know, the Lancaster is just so iconic and it's so different to anything else. I mean, like the T-tail for a start, well, it's not a T-tail, but the way the tail section is arranged and how like big the wings are, and it's like really bulky engines and just its iconic nose. Yeah, everything about it. It's just really good. But it's a toss-up between those two, really. Best Allied Power member? China. I'd probably say that British Airways is better for how I like them, but if you're talking about it in terms of how the airline is operating and how it is in the public eyes right now, Lufthansa, definitely. I haven't actually played Air Tycoon 2 and Air Tycoon 3, as in the offline versions, but so, yeah, don't ask me on those, because I really don't have any experience with them. I've seen Air Tycoon 3 a little bit, but as far as I know, it's just like Air Tycoon 4 with less bits glued onto it. And that's kind of how I like what the Air Tycoon series has been since Air Tycoon 3. Like, they redevelop the graphics, and they're just like, oh, I made a flawless game, I'm just going to glue more bits onto it, which kind of works. But yeah, sometimes they don't sort out their problems, but Air Tycoon 5 they seem to have ironed out quite a bit. But yeah, haven't played those games, so Air Tycoon 3, I guess. Also, just one quick question. Where's Air Tycoon 1? Norwich, obviously, because I live there. Just, why wouldn't I? Do you mean Crossy Road? Probably no, because it's just a budget Flappy Bird that which they decided to stick on their own because I couldn't be asked to make a pipe with a bird with a beak the size of its wings or something. Why did you subscribe to me? Kind of took me about 5 minutes to wrap my head around what he was saying here. Next time, could you please do a little bit of grammar? I'm guessing that he's saying about if I get a new computer, what sort of flight simulator would I use? I think it would probably be P3D, because that just seems to be the one that has the most detail, the better graphics, and just a much more focused community, if you know what I mean, because something like Flight Simulator, I'm sure the people just mess around in that half the time, and although there's people that want to actually do it, I don't know, like the graphics are worse, and there's less aircraft to be added, and the quality's, yeah, as I said, the quality's a lot lower. I'd probably go for P3D, but to get into the actual, like, aviation Flight Simulator franchise, I guess, if you want to get into it, probably Flight Simulator X is the best way to do it, or Infinite Flight, which I have played a few times. But I haven't really played a lot on it, to be honest, in recent times. Probably haven't played on it for like 2 years. No, I don't. In fact, yes, I do. Don't ask. Just don't ask. Airbus is better, as I've said. Out of Bombardier and Embraer, probably Bombardier. I think that they do better in terms of regional sales with like their CRJ. I mean, they've got a much more diverse lineup. They've got their Q400, which sells quite well, and Airbus. Embraer don't have any other turboprop to compete with that. But yeah, I think Bombardier is better because I've got the Q400 line. They've got a very, very successful business jet line with like the Bombardier Global and Learjet line. They've got a really successful CRJ line off the back of that, and they've got the new C series / A220 series, which has recently received big orders from both JetBlue and Moxie Airways. So yeah, I believe that they're doing better. Meanwhile, I mean, Embraer, you've got to give them credit for actually have like to get like 300 orders in one day at Farnborough from like 6 different airlines. So yeah, quite commend them for that. But yeah, they haven't really been getting more like loads of orders up to that point. So in terms of orders and in terms of the amount of aircraft that they have, although Embraer do have their successful ERJ series, which I believe is probably more successful than the CRJ, I think, because yeah, they've sold like 1,500 ERJs or something ridiculous like that. I'd probably say that Bombardier are just a better, just because they put their head above the parapet a little bit more. Yes, I do like British Airways. It's my second favourite one. I'm pretty sure there's a question coming up which says what my favourite airline is, so I'm not going to say what it is. But yeah, it's my second favourite. I don't know. I think it's just the livery that I like the best, to be honest. I think it's just iconic. Just don't change it, British Airways. No, I'm an emu. No, I like transgender, LGBT, genders identifying as an attack helicopter. Apollo thief, is he like Apollo 12? Is he going to take me to the moon? I don't know, check the burial ground. And I don't know. Peace stalled in the brain. God, why do people not understand it? My favourite airline is KLM. Yeah, I don't even like my own national airline as my favourite. Yeah, but I do like KLM, probably because I see it more, and I don't know, they just seem like a more friendly airline, and they seem to know what they're doing more than British Airways, so yeah, I like them. I've flown with them before. They have a really nice leg room on their short-haul product, and I'm excited to travel with them in the future. I'm going to go on the 747s before they're retired, and also want to fly on their 787 on the new business class, which they're rolling out, I think. And they've also got a new economy class on their A330s, which would probably be a good thing if I wanted to go to St Martin, because they fly A330s there now. Why did he ask what's your favourite airport twice? I don't know. It's Norwich Airport because, yeah, I live there, I've had more experience with it. I know basically every single plane that flies in and out of there. So, apart from ones that like the KLM engineering and air livery and Airbus, as I said before. I'm thinking about doing flight reviews. But that's the thing. I think that I would do it if I go plane spotting, because I want to go plane spotting because I've done Norwich a million times, and the only other place I've done is Amsterdam. The next place I want to go is Manchester, and then after that probably Edinburgh. I basically want to go to places which I can access from Norwich. It's just the easiest thing to do, and I guess Manchester's the next logical choice after Amsterdam as like a major airport to go to. But yeah, I guess I can, because on the way there, I kind of did a little one with the Fokker 70 trip, because it didn't just include the actual Fokker 70 flight itself, it also included like me coming back and a few things like that, so it wasn't in like a proper flight report. But I guess I can. I guess that I kind of do it like that, and I would do it in that format and say, yeah, like I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Manchester and do plane spotting. You can watch the plane spotting video here. Because when I go to Manchester, I don't want to just do plane spotting and just go on the flight on the 2328, which I've wanted to do for quite a while now. I also want to visit the Manchester Aviation Viewing Park, because they have Concorde, which I've actually been on at Duxford, but not the passenger one. They've also got a Nimrod, which is also at Norwich. They have one there if you didn't know. They've also got the Trident, a DC-10 cockpit, and something else which I can't remember. Oh yeah, they have a RJX, which is in fact the last ever passenger airliner ever built in this country, because BAE Systems really know what they're doing, don't they? So, answering that question, probably, who knows, I'll cross that bridge when we come to it, to be honest. Can we be based out of Sydney, Singapore, Brisbane or Melbourne? That's the thing. I'm going to be putting the decision up to you guys. Put in the comments what hub that you want me to start off at. And yeah, anywhere in Asia and Oceania, essentially, because I've been in Europe and I've been in the US. Aced the US a lot more than Europe, I will say. But I don't know, I think Asia will be quite interesting. It'll be more of a challenge, because if I set up a route, if I set up a hub in Asia, there's only a few routes to start off with in the 1960s that will be decently popular to fly to. But around it, there's like really low popularity places, and all the other popular places are miles away. So that would be quite an interesting thing to do, where I'd have to set up lots of long-haul routes to Europe and the US, and I wouldn't be able to do them straight away either, because there's just not enough range to fly everywhere in the US, as you can only really go, like to start off with DC-8s, you can only go to the West Coast, and you could probably, I don't even think you can reach Denver. I don't know, you could, but yeah, like if I was based in like Tokyo or something, like the closest major city to the US from Asia. So that's the thing, that would be a very interesting thing to do, and if it's Australia, that'd be even harder to do. So yeah, just pick any hub in Asia that has at least 300 TOR. And when I say that, that means that it's, I don't care about the business, but do choose a place which has over 300 TOR consistently. Don't do one which just gets over the 300 line and then will drop back down after a month and have like go back down to like 270 or whatever. No, just do one that's consistently, like, just a few examples: Tokyo, Seoul, Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore, Bangkok, Sydney. All of those places are up for grabs, and any other place. that you can find that's just as popular. So yeah, choose some place like that, and I will do that for Series 3, but I've still got to finish Series 2.5 off first, which I am going to be recording after this video. Now, I don't want the Fokker 70 to go back to Galen's fleet. I just want it to be serving out of Norwich, to be honest, or going to the Norwich Aviation Museum. Why don't you have one there? Why? Oh, I record my videos on quite a few things. Well, for like Air Tycoon 4 and unboxing, and anything else like plane spotting that requires a camera, I'll use a camera. Air Tycoon 4 doesn't really require a camera, but it does for me. On the computer, I use an application called Screencast-O-Matic, and that is just some free screen recorder which I found. I will probably upgrade to Fraps, but to be honest, I don't really use the computer recorder that much anymore because I barely do Ibirdball Infuriation. In fact, I don't think I've done it for like a year. So yeah, that's just what I use for that. I mean, it's kind of, there's that watermark in the corner which is kind of noticeable, but yeah, like other than that, I don't really care. At least you get to see everything that I'm doing, even if that watermark is there. And then for my Xbox, I use a Ava Media capture card. It's called the LGBT Lite, I think, if I just go check for a second. Yes, LGB Lite. LGP, not light, not LGBT light. Good God, I want one of them. I wouldn't want one of them, that I would want. But yeah, that's what I use for Xbox, doing like tutorials and tours every now and then, and Ibirdland, which I still have another video of which to upload. So yeah, that's what I got my videos with. My worst video is either this Thomas the Tank Engine thing, which I don't even know if any of you have seen before, I know some of you probably have, and the update bloopers. Yeah, prattling about in my pants saying Quiete.
Quiete!
PC I use is a Lenovo B50 something. I can't remember the exact variant it is, but yeah, that's the PC that I use. I got it for £350. It was originally 6 gig of RAM, but it was up to 8 for, did I say 60 gigs of RAM? I'm going to say 6. And I have, I think, 500 megabytes of storage or something like that. I don't know exactly. I don't think America will buy Embraer, to be honest. I really don't think Boeing will, because I seriously just don't think that it will be allowed by the Brazilian government, because they don't actually own Embraer, but they have like 20 or 30% shares in it, a stake even. That's the thing. I really don't see them selling off one of their biggest companies in Brazil to a major US company, especially between the relations between the US and Brazil. I just really don't see that happening. I really don't. I see, like, unless they did that, if they did that, it would be, like, to some ultimatum, like, to some thing where, oh, if you buy Embraer, you're going to have to set up X number of factories in our countries making this type of plane for us at a cheaper price or something like that. I'd imagine that that would be the thing if they did it. It wouldn't just be an outright buy and just Brazil would just sell it away like that, because that's the thing, Airbus don't even have control of Bombardier. They have control of the C series, just about, but that's it. Whilst Bombardier still have a bunch of planes like the Q400, CRJ, Learjets, like the global business jets and stuff like that. They still have them. If Boeing bought them out, they would have absolutely everything. And this is the thing. This is what Boeing play to. They try and get Bombardier out of the market, the US market with the C series, by saying that the C series is threatening the 737 MAX 7. Because apparently it was, and then that backfires, so the C series then can be sold in the market, and they get it stolen by Airbus. What's their response? We're going to buy out a competitor. If you can't beat your rivals, buy them. That's blooming Boeing's philosophy. Anyway, I believe that's the last question. Yes, it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this video's gone off for quite a while and I've rambled on quite a bit. That'll be it for this Q&A video. So thanks for all the questions that you're doing. If there's going to be a second Q&A, I still don't know yet. I might do it, but yeah, I really don't think so. I think that I'm just going to leave it at this one here and then probably do something, some Q&A a few months in the future as I get more subs and there's more questions that need answering. So yeah. That'll be the end of this video here, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video if you decide to use that one as well. Bye!